Hello, everybody, and welcome to NASCAR Sprint Cup Series GarageCam, presented by Mobile One here on NASCAR.com. We're live in the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. I'm Chuck Bush. We've got Jonathan Merryman and special guest Jesse Iwuji here in this jam-packed garage. Well, kind of.
It's not too jam-packed right now, but the cars are still somewhere around, and we're going to find them.
We're going to find them because I believe they're getting ready to go out here in about 30 minutes, which is why this show is 30 minutes long.
Yes.
So they're going through tech because they're getting ready to get on track for the first time here in Daytona since February. And it's going to be pretty interesting. You know?
Definitely going to be interesting. The weather has definitely changed since February. When they were out here in February, I think the temperature was probably in the 70s, maybe might have hit 80s. But today we have high 90s, very, very humid, very sunny. Track's probably pretty greasy, and these guys are going to definitely have a fun one.
Well, I'm going to say the weather has changed a little bit here today since our last garage cam 30 minutes ago. The temperature has slightly dropped, but I think that's because there's a cloud that's blocking the sun, and that cloud might contain some liquid sunshine.
Yeah, we might have a little bit of rain probably early in this afternoon, possibly, unless it goes over us, but we'll find out. But having that cloud cover is definitely nice. I know for the drivers, it cools down the temperatures a little bit, cools down the track temperatures just a little bit, and, you know, helps those drivers stay cool. It's going to be a hot one today.
Going to be hot all weekend. Jonathan Merryman, what do you think about that?
I just see cars and I'm getting excited because there was about 15 garage stalls there with nothing in it because
I'm
those
getting
cars
excited too.
are still going through tech. But first up, Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer with the AccuDoc Solutions, number 15 race car. Last weekend wasn't too great for him. He had the little issue at Sonoma, knocked him out pretty early, but hopefully he can have a good run this weekend.
And one of the things you'll notice this weekend on the cars, you have the decal, of course, for NASCAR, an American salute. NASCAR salutes right there. And above that, hashtag Orlando United. The NASCAR community comes together to support this country whenever it is needed. They show support. There's an outpouring of love, prayers, thoughts to all of the family members affected by the tragic events in Orlando.
And the big thing about the NASCAR salute, so this weekend is an American salute for NASCAR, and what they're doing is on these patriotic weekends, NASCAR is going out of their way to support and honor different troops, different veterans, units, installations out there, and really show support, be very pro-America and pro-military. And you're going to see a lot of that around the track today at Daytona, especially with the Xfinity cars. But you'll see it all over, and hopefully we'll get to see some nice patriotic paint schemes on some of these race cars.
If we take a look out in the out rolling through the garage, we see the number 23 of David Reagan. That paint scheme was unveiled this week. You can check out the video on NASCAR.com. It was designed by a patient at the Shriners Hospital. She entered a contest. Her name is Haley. And we have just been told over the radio that there has been lightning reported in the area. So we may have to cut this garage cam short. I'm not entirely sure just yet. I'm going to hand the microphone back over to Jonathan Merryman, but we are going to seek shelter.
Yeah, well, let's get in the garage. And while we're going to the garage, let's and no one's here yet, let's recap a little bit what happened last week. Tony Stewart's big win at Sonoma Raceway. And I met a young guy at Sonoma Raceway in Victory Lane. His name was Donovan. A shout out to Donovan. He watches GarageCam religiously, from what I am told. So Donovan, if you're watching, we appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, last weekend's race was pretty awesome. Tony Stewart came away with a nice win on that last lap pass. It was really great. I was down there in the pit area, and I was able to watch it from that and see from the turn 11 when he came underneath Denny Hamlin and, you know, took the lead to win that race. That was really great. And we've had a lot of great finishes this year for the Cup Series, which has made it really exciting for all the fans to watch.
All right, so we are going to continue GarageCam, actually in the garage for now. This obviously, lightning's a big deal.
And we're keeping an eye on the weather. We have our crack team in the production truck here and back at the office trying to keep us safe, but still get you, the fans, the cars that you want to see here on NASCAR.com.
Eric Almirola, double duty this weekend, running in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, also fulfilling his obligations in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Now, I believe he has won a race at Daytona in the 43 car. So Eric Almirola might be another one to watch.
It's always great to get a win at Daytona. It's such a hard track. Anything can happen at any time. Long race, you got to be patient. And yeah, if you can pick up a win, it's huge.
Danica Patrick had a solid weekend at Sonoma. Always tends to run very well at Daytona and Talladega. Patience is a virtue here. We'll see who has the most patience at the end of this thing come Saturday night. But the Nature's Bakery number 10, Stuart Haas Chevrolet. Also got a Mobile One sticker on there. Thanks, Mobile One, for sponsoring GarageCam. But yeah, Danica Patrick should be quick. And to Danica's car's right, we have the 16 of Greg Biffle.
Looks to be a pretty patriotic looking scheme. Got the red, white, and blue. Very American. Gotta love it.
Ford EcoBoost. All right, so we have a little bit of spare time as we switch garages.
Roam over here.
I
pass
think
by
we
Tech.
found a couple of the cars. The 30 of Josh Wise right there.
Josh Weiss. I got to meet him last weekend at Sonoma. He was able to talk with some of the Coast Guard folks that came by that NASCAR brought for their Support the Troop program, and it was pretty cool. I got to talk with them. They really loved it. I think it was a lot of their first times at the track, and that's a cool thing with what NASCAR is doing. They're bringing a lot of different sailors, Marines, folks in the soldiers, everything. They're bringing them all to the track every single weekend and supporting them and honoring them. And I think it's bringing the military a little bit closer to NASCAR because there's a lot of similarities between the two, especially between the teams and, teams also, in the military.
Looks like you had Bobby Labonte going through Tech and Michael Annette going through as well.
Very patriotic scheme on Annette's car.
Stars and stripes always look good on race cars, I think.
Always. I think they should run it like every race. Tech inspection can definitely be a little difficult. These officials are checking everything on the cars, making sure that, no one has an unfair advantage when they come to the track. Take a little close look at the car. Michael Annette, number 46.
Like we're looking at the car.
We have
Bobby Labonte.
Bobby Labonte right behind him in the number 32 Ford Fusion.
And we're about to head on over to the front side of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series garage here in the World Center of Racing. And it looks, as I'm walking down here, it's looking a little ominous, but it doesn't look like it's a big cloud, so hopefully it'll pass over.
Hopefully it's not too thick with a lot of rain or anything in it.
CJ's looking at me like I'm crazy saying it's not a big cloud.
Chuck,
It's a big cloud.
That's a big cloud, Chuck.
It is a big cloud, but you can see the other side of it. It looks clear over there.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some rain in it. Hopefully it just doesn't drop over here. We like the cloud cover. It definitely cools off the track, cools off the drivers, cools off the equipment. But when it starts raining, it's not good. We got to get off the track, keep the drivers safe.
We need cars on track in a hurry, though, because the vortex theory may be real. So we take a look at the number 4 and 41 of Kurt Busch.
Kevin Harvick over here.
Kevin Harvick.
Lovely paint scheme. Busch, very American.
The old man, Tony Gibson, Kurt Busch's crew chief, talking it up.
These guys are busy getting these cars ready to get on track.
It's a lot of talking and pointing going on.
There's a lot of talking and pointing, but we also got a lot of fans talking in the chat room. The first in chat, Emma Hart, she wants to see Cole Witt, Chase Elliott, and Chris Buescher.
Oh.
Louis D. Donato wants to see Chase Elliott. Leah Bartlett, Casey Kane. Jonathan Merryman has something he wants to say.
Carl Edwards in this 19 Subway Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Would you believe has not won a restrictor plate race in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series? Not one.
Wow, maybe this weekend might be his first.
He's had some pretty bad luck, but if you remember the run he had here in February, got a little damage, but the 19 Toyota was still very strong. So who knows? They say Green's bad luck on a race car. We'll see if it holds true this weekend or if he could break the curse.
A cool thing about Carl Edwards, he's actually going to be on the cover of a video game, a NASCAR video game pretty soon. So that's actually pretty cool. I saw that on the internet the other day.
And he got that because of his All-Star race. Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
I know you looked at me like I was wrong. And we're still monitoring the weather in the area. There are still reports of lightning, so we're gonna hug the garage as close as we can.
We got Chase Elliott's car over here.
Brad Keselowski right here, the number 2.
Big supporter of the military, Brad Keselowski is. He does a lot of things that we don't hear about for our troops, both active and former. So, Brad Keselowski, he loves July 4th.
We're gonna swing over here to Chase Elliott's car, number 24, the Sun Energy.
Check out the wheels.
Beautiful paint scheme. I haven't seen anything like this before. These wheels are unreal.
Orange chrome.
Wow.
We're all just kind of standing here in awe of this
pretty
awesome,
amazing.
awesome looking. Like the outline of the 24, you got sort of a day glow orange in there too.
This is gorgeous. Look at the helmet.
This is kind of a
check out that helmet
modern.
there. That's beautiful. That's definitely beautiful.
It's a modern take, maybe on the old Rainbow Warrior scheme. Maybe could you draw that correlation?
I couldn't. We got the number 22 with Joey Logano rolling in to the stall right here, next to Chase Elliott. See the crew pushing.
Chase Elliott, last weekend, he ran in the K&N West race with us. I got to run against him. It was pretty cool being able to run in the same race with the Cup driver, even though he ran in our K&N West. He ended up winning. That was cool. Hey,
did you run across him on track at all?
I did. He actually ran across me twice.
How'd that go?
It was fine. On the last lap, he passed me just to put me one lap down. I was going to be on the lead lap, but he got me on the very last lap. But yeah, it was pretty cool to race against people like that. You definitely get to learn when you see a Cup driver, in front of you. You get to follow him for a little bit. You learn a lot.
I'm just digging the wheels. The orange chrome.
This is
wheels.
Amazing. I mean, am I even allowed to touch this? I mean, this looks great. It looks like it was just painted like 2 seconds ago. I think it's gorgeous. I want to get some wheels like this. Maybe I'll ask my team owner.
And unfortunately, due to the impending weather, we're gonna have to wrap it up here a little bit early. We got maybe 2 or 3 more minutes left, so we're gonna
have Jimmy Johnson
Jimmy
right
Johnson
over here, number 48. Very patriotic scheme right now on his car. He has a red, white, and blue, stars and stripes. Always looking great.
Casey Kane walking through the garage, looking at his teammates ride.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson always does a great job of supporting, on these patriotic weekends.
We're going to try and show you as much as we can before we wrap, but we are unfortunately going to have to wrap early as we look at the number 78, Martin Truex Jr., and the 18,
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch
in the number 18 Interstate Batteries car.
Remember to tune in Saturday night. It's NBC's first race back here covering the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. It will be Saturday night at 7:45 for the
400 at Daytona International Speedway.
Powered by Coca-Cola. For everybody here at NASCAR.com, thank you for sticking with us. We apologize for the brevity of the show, but in order to keep our crew safe, we're going to have to sign off from here in Daytona. For Jesse Iwuji, Jonathan Merryman, CJ Latirzo, Scott Big Newton, I'm Chuck Bush, reminding you to enjoy the race and have a great 4th of July weekend.